he's like 60, dog.
Yeah, he's in his 50s.
He's 54, 55. He's not 60.
He's like still mid-50s.
Mid-50s is pretty solid.
Yeah, okay, let me ask you guys, is he on steroids? Does he take
all the
steroids?
steroids.
Bro, he's on TRT.
Hey,
His head got big.
hey,
His
name
hand
a steroid.
tranquilizer.
Testosterone.
Yeah, his horse
He's got that.
tranquilizer.
Are you on steroids?
Dude, I want to get on steroids.
Yeah, this is how much he's gone into the thought of it.
Dude, the truth is the most shit.
He's gotten blood work done.
I have gotten blood work done.
For what?
To see if I wanted to move forward with this company that was going to do it.
So why do you want to do it?
Because of vanity?
You want to live to how old?
Well, I'm
No,
not
he
trying
wants to look good. It's not.
vanity.
For how long?
For as long as possible.
Okay, so when you're...
Wait, are you saying that I look good right now?
No, like, you look like me. That's why I don't
If I was a girl,
understand.
I'd fuck you. So
It's super fair.
At one point,
He doesn't have to be a girl.
I mean, I fuck tonight.
Super fair.
Yeah. Well, that's. I mean,
Stop looking at me. Fucking
I just
Manny.
never understood what people wanted to take steroids. It's like, why would you want to put your body through like?
Steroids is one thing.
Well, no,
but
it's like
steroids
joking
are
aside.
different
I
now than
haven't
what it
been,
was back in the day.
to be super fair, he's saying steroids. I'm not really saying steroids.
You
No,
are
he
saying
means
steroids.
testosterone.
Like
Okay.
testosterone. So like,
So your dick doesn't
So
get hard
penis
anymore.
enhancers?
no, it still does. But
It's the blue pill.
Once in a while, or
Blue
all the
chew.
time?
all
That's
the
what it's
time.
called, blue chew.
All the time. But if you could get there's levels, right? Like let's say I don't know what the numbers are, but like let's say it's between 200 and 1100 is healthy, and you're within that range. But if you could be brought closer to a healthy amount within that range, where you'll be thinner, more muscle mass, why not?
Well, you're past that point already.
Yeah,
And
but
if you
how
could do it
does
in a
that affect
healthy
your
manner,
health? Yeah.
it doesn't. It doesn't as long as you do it with a reputable place that knows what they're doing, and you're getting regular blood work.
Yeah, but
done.
you're like 37 years old. How old do you think you're going to be doing this?
Yeah, how old are
forever. You
Are
do
you
it forever.
37?
No.
I'm 37.
Damn, you're old.
Yeah. Wow.
Says the guy who's older.
You will never get that figure you're looking for.
That's super fair.
Yeah, so
But
what is your ideal, like, what's your end goal
Like, you think
here?
you're
Well,
gonna be Arnold
end
when
goal,
he's like
end goal is to
58?
try to maintain muscle mass, because after 35, your testosterone naturally, like your free testosterone naturally drops, and muscle mass, because of testosterone drops,
do you know
starts
what age?
like going down year over year.
Do you
right?
know what age your man-made self stopped decreasing? No matter width or
I don't know what you're asking right now.
as a
Man-made
human.
self.
Okay.
I think it means
I'm saying as a
nature
man,
itself.
as a man, naturally,
Okay.
you are at your highest point as a male figure of yourself at 32 years old.
Is that true?
That
I
is
think
very
it varies person
Like,
to person.
No.
Like, physically?
Like physically, you are your highest point after 32 years old.
I would say more in your,
You
like,
start
20s.
decreasing. No, surprisingly enough,
Like
you
late
don't.
20s.
No, look it
I
up.
think it
is
depends,
science,
bro.
No, I swear to you, I've done science. There are literatures
So-
behind this.
So
to back me
hypothetically,
up.
wait.
I swear, at 32 years old, your male body is at its highest point of
speak.
strength.
I feel like this is what he's telling his girl as a reason for why he doesn't try anymore. He's like,
So
you
you're
don't
giving up.
understand.
my
At
peak is
32, I was there. No matter how hard I try,
She's
it's
like,
not gonna
why is your
work.
dick not getting hard? Babe, at 32, there's science research.
Trust
No,
me, look
No,
it up.
I agree
I've
with
looked at all the
So, like,
research.
from there, you're saying that you just go
It
down.
starts decreasing. It starts decreasing because
your testosterone.
that's what I'm saying. Your testosterone
Yeah,
levels,
decreasing.
even to beyond that, like your muscle mass equivalency to if you are working hard on your body to get the greatest strength at you.
Oh, they didn't tell you.
At that age, you start
this rug.
decreasing. So,
Marlon.
You didn't tell me.
no, I'm just telling you because I read a lot. Surprisingly enough.
Oh, whoa.
Surprisingly enough. I know
What?
I don't seem to be a reader, but I like reading online.
What was that article on Pornhub?
Page 2, actually.
That super makes sense. He's like, having trouble getting up.
Yeah.
Click. At 32.
Just tell your wife. Just tell your wife. Reference this article.
Which
He's
is
like,
fine.
I read the whole thing.
Reference this study. He's like,
But I've never had a problem getting it up. So that doesn't make sense, guys. Okay? Stop making fun of my big dick with a small D in my wall.
Let me see it.
Whip it out.
His little D.
My little
On
D
the wall.
is literally on the wall.
Dude, Marlon.
No shame.
Manny says that if you whip it out, he'll give it a kiss.
Yeah.
It's been a while
All
since
right.
somebody kissed it. So I might consider it.
I felt that one.
It did seem like he said it with a little bit of hurt.
Yeah, I
But
felt
your
that
look,
pain.
your look is what gave me to say that.
Hey, it was weird that Manny was licking his lips when he said what.
I'm thirsty. You guys have water?
I got my dick.
So let's go back to your whole vanity thing. Is that why you work out? Just to
Just
not
to
for
try-
health, but just to look.
Oh,
Is that
it's
your
like
health-wise?
it's like 60% vanity. For
Oh
sure.
my goodness.
Like an overwhelming amount is based on vanity alone.
Because you said you wake up at 4 a.m. just to go.
Yeah,
to bed.
100%.
So that's like straight commitment to vanity.
The straight commitment to vanity. Yes.
Holy crap.
Now,
Yes.
at what age do you...
How are we shocked?
No.
For Colombia, I hired a diet
you were ripped.
coach. A diet
Ripped?
coach, and I tanned to
Ripped.
have a base for the pictures that we took.
ripped? He was a fake prostate.
And then Noah showed up fat.
I know, all of you guys. Nobody put in any effort. I was so disappointed.
tried.
That's why we made you look really good.
Yeah, no,
Because you were standing next to Marlon the whole time.
Yeah.
Very
No, that's
fair.
why he ended up looking like me.
It was so
Which brings it
disappointed.
back full circle to the
Which
idea of
is
the
why
original
you are
joke.
now my twin. Because as much as greatness, you thought you were coming in as Mr. Olympus.
Olympus?
Mr. Olympus.
He's out of breath, dude. He's out of breath.
Sorry, that was like a long
No,
sentence.
I mean,
I'm going to take pauses.
by the way, listeners, so you keep hearing somebody breathing on the mic, it's Marlon, because I keep hearing it on my audio.
Yeah, it is me. But he had a six-pack coming into this.
He did. You can see the
vacation
markings.
Wait, who is this guy?
Oh, Tony. Tony came in looking sweet. Like,
Sweet.
wow.
He licked his lip when he said that.
And I did. I will. Every time I
How many
remember
times
that.
did you want to fuck him?
Probably out of 2 days out of the 6 days we were there.
Yeah.
Then he looked fat, right? Then he started like gaining the weight.
I mean,
Wait.
And
I
then
mean,
you
we're
got
in
a beard.
we were in a country that fed you fries for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
He looked like me after day 3.
Yeah.
And he knew it.
That's so disrespectful.
Coming from the guy that broke his ankle the day one.
And
Day
to
one.
this day, he looks like me now.
That's super fair. As close as possible.
He's past his prime, is that what you're saying?
Oh, he's 30 hit.
I'm not 32,
Yeah,
so
Nate
you know,
Diaz want to
Honestly,
fight.
I feel like I haven't hit my prime. Is that weird?
It's funny.
that's weird. I feel more than weird. It's more like delusional.
Now, why? Why
No,
do you,
not
why
physically.
do you think you
I'm
have
talking about just in life in general.
No,
Oh,
but
I
why?
can see that.
The amount of
Why?
wisdom that
But why? You've been a cross-country adventurer. You travel the world. Why don't you think you got to hit your prime yet?
No, yeah, like a better question is like, what do you think is going to be the thing that's going to put you at your prime? So, like a little background, right? You're saying you were in the Marines,
right.
right? You've traveled the world. Like,
That's right. He quit his job and he traveled for 6 months.
Right, and not only that, but even currently he goes like 2 weeks, a month, like for his birthday
Currently,
that's coming up.
Setting up a Brazil trip.
Brazil trip, and he's gonna be gone for 30 days. Like he's like a minimum of a month. He's gonna be gone.
That's what he
His
says.
pant size are 32 when he's a 34, naturally.
They're tight, sure, we can see that.
Why haven't
Vanity.
you hit your prime yet? Why haven't you hit your prime yet?
Like what is gonna be the thing that puts you at your prime? What do you
so-
think is missing?
So I don't know if you guys know, but me and Noah started a company.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So
No.
once we make this company a multi-million-dollar company, I think that's because for males, I would say our prime is money, right? Status,
Sure,
like how much power you have, because
Right.
status and money is power.
like
So I think that's what it is.
in the world, there's a value system that gets assigned to people. And generally with males, it is based on earning
like
potential.
women
power.
is youth and beauty, right? And
Okay.
man is earning potential.
So
and
Noah is-
power and status.
So Noah is the
and
youth
it's
and the
usually
beauty.
tied
Correct.
to Yeah, like it's usually tied to like money or like all of that is like usually tied to earning potential.
By the way,
Absolutely.
Like
the
status.
company
everything
he's
else
talking about is
tied
called
to-
Go and Build, and Manny is considered the CEO.
What is Go and Build? What is that?
We started this nonprofit. So I don't know if you guys know. I went to
I know a bit.
Guatemala. Yeah,
No, I don't know this. Please tell me.
So we started a nonprofit. Noah and I went to Guatemala like this past April, May.
Okay.
And we partied with his cousin, and his cousin used to work for this multi-billion-dollar nonprofit that basically built like houses for poor communities. So we got along with the cousin. He's our age. He's 35. Like he's cool. He speaks English. He lives there, and he's like, "Hey, I've been wanting to kind of start the same thing he was doing, but start my own company." So we kind of just started brainstorming, and we're just like, "Why don't we just do it then?" So ever since we left. The last 4 months, every Wednesday we have a Zoom call for hours. We talk about it. So we've been like progressively setting up the business, and now we're building our first house next month.
Awesome.
Yeah,
No way. In Guatemala.
In Guatemala. So we're going for 2 weeks to meet all the vendors, meet the family that we're going to build it for, kind of like get all like the media stuff.
By the way, as a self-proclaimed broke traveler, I volunteered to go help build that.
Yeah.
He would. He's borrowing
So
money.
for straight 2 weeks, we already have a
It's a
promotional.
business expense.
Oh, careful.
We already created a promotional video and everything.
Wow, that's awesome.
And then so I talked to everybody that I meet about this. I already got a donation today just by bringing it up. So it's basically, I mean, our goal is basically to, we found this, obviously Guatemala doesn't have the same infrastructure as here, right? Where like we take care of even homeless here people, they get money, they have iPhones.
So the goal is to build homes.
To build homes for poor communities, yeah.
Oh, that's so fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So
To your point, to your question, I think that's it, because I don't want to work for anybody, right? Like,
Right.
I make really good money right now, but I'm not happy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So to me, I'm like, I'd rather like build my own thing, and it's
So-
for a good reason, right?
Good question.
So you don't need to be in shape. You could be fat.
Oh, I'm
helping.
dude. Am I not ripped?
No,
I mean,
no.
I'm
No.
decent.
I mean, by rip, you mean you're
No.
ripping your pants. But do you guys plan on going outside of Guatemala?
Eventually, but I think there's a lot.
Start
It's one
somewhere.
step at a
Yeah,
time.
and especially because his cousin, his name's Jose.
And he has experience within
He
Guatemala.
has experience, he has connections, and he ran the whole operation for that company. So he had 250 people under him. So he knows how to run the whole thing.
Yeah, the construction site going on over there.
So what are your guys' big rules in it? Like you and
You
Noah?
guys are the funders.
Yeah, we're the funders.
You guys
That's
find
awesome.
ways to fund
Well,
it.
we
Like
basically
through donations.
Correct.
and-
So it's mainly going to be donations. No, I already built the website. We can accept donations on the website already, but my goal. So I'm in sales. I'm business development.
Yeah, so what do you do?
He
So what do
finds
you actually do?
donors.
I'm
Well,
like,
actually, you know what? You'd be surprised, but I designed this logo.
business card.
I designed the
Other
logo.
than making the business card, which looks amazing.
Tell me it's not a
What-
stick logo.
What do you
Nice.
do?
You like it?
There's
By
a
the way, the
heart
logo-
in a house.
Yeah, the logo is a little house with a heart in it.
And then if you turn it around, it has his information with the half of the house with half of the heart.
Yeah,
Who brings in the other half?
you.
Everybody.
The
Everybody
people
else.
who donate.
Everybody else who provides.
So basically, I'm going to be
Great.
doing like fundraising, reaching out to companies
Oh, okay.
and people, and between me and Noe, that's kind of our we're both going to kind of be doing. So the money's obviously the America or United States is like the biggest country
Contributor.
that contributes to
Yeah.
outside of the world as far
Right.
as like charity and donations. So obviously we're here.
Uh-huh.
So, and I'm in LA and Noah's in Nashville. So together we're going to basically be setting up. We're setting up the infrastructure there, which is pretty much already set.
that this is non-profit organization.
Yeah, it's a non-profit
Yeah, it's a
organization.
So not business, not somebody to be greedy about it. It's,
Well, obviously we want to grow this to be a multi-million.
okay,
So
so
we're
you guys
making
don't
profit.
care at the end.
Yeah, but nonprofits make profits,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
It's-
Like people get paid a salary. They're just not supposed to
Correct.
keep any of the money for
So
the stockholders.
you're not
and
doing
pay out
because you
dividends.
care.
right. There's no stockholders.
You're,
Right.
you're not doing
Like,
this
that's
because
the
you
idea.
care. You're doing this because at the end, you'll make money.
I want to say it's a little bit of
I
both.
think it's both, right?
Okay.
I mean,
I know.
we're human.
Have you been to Guatemala?
I
Dude, they
told
just
you I went there. That's
Dude,
where
I
the
feel like
business idea
Marlon's not
started.
I don't know. How long were you there for?
Like 10 days.
10 days, and then you said, yeah, I could help these people.
No, I said that this is a good idea.
I think he realized that Noé's
where I
cousin
can make
knew what
money.
the fuck he was doing.
This is where I can make money.
No,
No.
well, honestly, we didn't even think about the money. We're
No.
just like, I mean, eventually the end goal is for us to do this full time.
I'm just playing devil's advocate over here, just to question those questions, because a lot of people do create these things for money, right? It's the end result. But if you are trying to help, which is
Yeah.
the number one thing overall,
So I think our goal is for this first house is basically like we told Jose, we're like, we want to experience the whole process, right? Like we're gonna meet the family exactly where they live, which is, I mean, it's pretty bad. And we want to meet with them. We want to see when the house gets torn down, when it's getting built. Like we want to experience the whole process, right? Get a lot of like media.
Yeah.
We're gonna hire a media guy to like film the whole thing. Like it's gonna be legit, right?
The media guy that you guys are gonna hire is gonna be a person that lives out
No,
there.
it's
You're gonna
true.
bring someone.
It's
No, it's
No,
not.
he
It's
hired
not me.
himself.
It's most likely
No,
this
he
guy that they. Oh, really? Okay.
So we actually already created one video.
oh, there is a
Chew will tag this on.
Yeah, I'll put it on
So
the
this
website.
is, I mean, essentially, this is how people live, right? So it's like,
We're
you get
getting
people-
some
so this
really
is-
bad feedback right now.
so this is.
I know it's not you. Don't pull the mic out. It's really
one
bad
of the
feedback. I
families.
think because he was touching the cables.
So our partner over there, he basically got all the. This is us filming on an iPhone. He filmed it on an iPhone,
Yeah.
and he did all the editing and everything, and then he branded it with our at the end with our logo and everything.
Yeah. By the way, the website is goandbuild.org.
So if you guys want to donate, you can donate on the website.
Yes,
Right?
and I'll go help some families and poor families
How much?
in Guatemala.
How much does it cost to build a house?
in Guatemala.
Like for a project?
Okay.
Like single.
Probably about like 10 grand for a
not
house.
terrible.
So it's
That's not that bad.
Oh,
That's not
it's
bad.
very inexpensive.
Yeah, it's
and,
pretty
reasonable.
and it's funny because I mentioned it with my family. They're like, "Why don't you just do it here?" I'm like, "It's not viable here."
Yeah.
Right. Everything's too expensive here.
Right.
There, I'm like 10 grand. You can change a family's
Now,
life. You know.
Can I ask you, just to mess with you, what does CEO/co-founder mean? Like, are you the boss or are you half a boss?
I'm both.
Okay, so can you put you're half a boss rather than main boss?
So what would be Noé's title?
He's
the other half.
No, it's CIO.
He's the other half.
CIO.
CIO.
He's
which means
our IT guy.
which
Yeah, he
means
is.
what
He,
does
dude, he
CIO?
built a website from scratch.
By the way,
He did a
Noé
great job.
does that for a living already. Like he
You
does
know-
coding and
Oh,
stuff like
yeah.
that. So
You know, I take
it's
classes to be
it's a good transition. for him.
online.
I mean, it's a good little
page
move.
builder.
Yeah.
I know how to build an online page. Can I be a CIO?
No, dude, they're not talking about using Wix, bro.
No. Well, I know how to put Google.
Are you trying to join the company?
I just
Volunteer to go help build, bro. Just volunteer to go help build.
I don't want to do
You
the
can- you can
hands-made.
take-
We are looking for
Hands
board
on.
members if you want to be a board member.
Oh, by all
Those are
means,
usually
yes.
volunteers.
Hey,
In
I
nonprofits,
think
those
if
are
I
usually
could, I think I
volunteers.
should become a board
Some
member
board members can be
with
paid.
$2,000 in.
No, some board members
That's
can be
20%.
paid, but yeah, you're right. Most are.
Mostly are volunteers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not.
But we
gonna
can pay
volunteer.
some of the board members.
Yeah.
like those meetings, the board meeting minutes or
Minutes.
meetings are rough because it's so formal. It's like I like to make a motion for to accept the minutes from last meeting.
Yeah, but that's when
Second
it's a big
person.
corporation,
Correct.
right? That's when it's huge.
Right.
But, I mean, obviously with us right now, it's only literally all us three,
Literally.
and we started this like 4 months ago, and now
That's just so
That's pretty
good.
great, dude. In 4 months, you guys raised money to build a house already. It's
Yeah.
pretty impressive.
yeah, we're just. I mean, we just kept going, right?
Can I?
It started. Hey, everything starts with one idea, right?
Let me get the CEO a drink. I'll be back. Let me get the
That
CEO a
is very
drink.
true. No, by all means, dude, I love it. I am all with it. If I can join in whatever way, I would love to.
Yeah, so
I would
we'll
like
just
to.
spread the word.
I don't even want to be part of the board members with you guys because I know you guys
you guys.
personally. I know you guys personally, and I hate you guys to make business with because you guys won't listen to my decision making, even though it's very profitable.
I actually would be interested in looking for like business developers, like people that are gonna get as donors. So And this would be a paid position. So
I don't need to get paid to help people. I'm here to help. I am a helpful person.
Human incentives. So.
I am also a neighbor of Guatemala because I am so.
Are you mad because we're not helping El Salvador?
No. But the whole idea is for growth.
Right.
So
well, you gotta
don't get me wrong.
You gotta start somewhere.
That's why.
That's why we called it Go and Build because we want to be able to branch.
I'm about to go to Guatemala. I'm about to go to Guatemala early 2023.
Okay.
So I hope I got a home.
You're not. You're going to Brazil.
No.
Slow down.
No. I'm going to Guatemala.
When are you going to Guatemala?
I'm sorry. Is your wife listening? Yeah, he's going to Guatemala.
No.
He's not going to Brazil at all.
I am.
Not at all.
I am. My wife can hear me. She gave me the okay. It's all good to go. But I am going to Guatemala because my grandma asked me to shower her ashes at a mountain over there. So
showered her ashes in a
spread.
Oh, okay.
Shower sounded so much nicer.
I didn't.
It's more.
Okay, so when are you doing this?
February. So I'm going to Guatemala in February. We're going to do that. But then Brazil it's self-inflicted joy.
That's how you heal.
That's how I'm gonna enjoy myself for
grandma.
For grandma.
She would have wanted that.
That's pretty legit, Manny. So website again is goandbuild.org and donate.
And shout out to Noe. He put in work on that website.
Building the website.
Yeah.
So that's pretty dope.
That's awesome. That's very awesome for you to be part of and be doing.
Yeah, and I think the good thing is the three of us are on the same page, right? As far as the way we think and are we're hungry for this, and and so we're
so
excited.
Crazy to hear you say that, acknowledging it, because you're such a individual, such a
What do you mean by you're such an individual? I feel like you need
selfish.
to elaborate.
Selfish is the word.
Selfish is
the word I was looking for.
I'm not married. I don't have kids. To make
no, that makes you smart.
Right.
So smart.
So he needs to elaborate.
High five, Manny.
Yeah, but Chewy's is headed down the path of destruction.
It's just a matter of time. It feels like, right?
We're all participating.
The only good thing about this is that it ends in a bachelor party.
Super fair.
Wait, who's getting
Only good.
To go back to Go and Build, like I said, I'm willing to volunteer to help.
Sidetrack.
I don't really need money. I'm down to go help people, and I just want to be a part of you guys' shit to help out. But hey, when I spoke about good friends, Manny and Noah happen to be some of those good friends.
Those are the two good men.
Not just the only ones, but there are some of the good friends I have. Yes.
Manny did not hear the very first episode, by the way, and he doesn't know that he was one of the good men.
No, he was mentioned in the last episode as well.
What was said about me?
Chewy
Nothing.
was a self-proclaimed broke man.
No.
And the only way he was able to travel is because he was able to pay dues with borrowing.
I said
because
I put myself in debt
to those individuals.
Travel.
Those individuals weren't named.
So he gave me a shout out.
You were a great person to borrow from.
No, in other words, I said there's people that front the air flight and then the hotels, and I pay them back.
Yeah,
you happen to be one of those people. But I too use my own credit to fucking. I just said,
you did.
In more less than words, I just said I put myself in debt to go travel.
Well, I was gonna be like, Chewy, you're not gonna not go because of money. I'm like, make it happen. I'll let you borrow, whatever. Obviously, no one wants you to go, right? So it's like. You're not going to let money stop you.
I like how he didn't include himself as one of the people who wanted.
Thank you.
He said, Noe wants you to go. So how did you meet Noe? How did you meet Noe? And did Noe was the person that bridged you into the gap of this group?
Yeah, he bridged them into us.
I met Noe through Chewy, and then I met you guys through Chewy and Noe. You know, so like.
I corrupted me for sure.
All right, so there's such an aggressive age gap.
No, not even the age gap. It's time gap. Gap.
So, but I look younger than Noe. Than all of you guys.
I don't know about all of us. I don't know about all of us, but you do look younger than your age, and for sure more than Noe.
Okay, perfect. As long as I beat Noe, we're good. Yeah.
My co-partner.
No, I met him, since we were kids, man. Because my best friend, we were basically neighbors. Like, we were a few houses away, and then Noe, it was his cousin. Mm-hmm. So Noe would just, he lived in the same house that his mom lives in now. So he would just come over and he'd ride his bike, come over, hang out, you know? So I met him through my best friend. It was my best friend's cousin, basically.
That's what's up.
And then he would just come over, we'd chill. Like, you know, when we were kids, we were 12. I was 12, he was 9, whatever. I mean, and then we kind of just became friends. And then over time, we grew apart. We didn't talk. And then we got reunited when my best friend passed away.
Okay. The guy in the motorcycle. That guy, or was it a different guy?
No. He was in the military.
Okay.
So he passed away. We don't even know how he passed away.
Yeah, it was like some freak accident.
It's like a mystery still, yeah. Mm. Supposedly he fell off a building. He was it was under construction.
You know how the military covers shit up.
Okay. It was a cover-up.
Wow.
They just found him passed out in his room. Like, yeah, it was weird. But anyway, so Noah and I spent like maybe 7-8 years like not even talking. I didn't know him since, I didn't see him since he was like this little. And then when we met him...
Some would argue he's still little.
Yeah. A little deep. And then, we just, again, when he passed away, we kind of just started off where we left it off, We just, he started inviting me around, right? He's like, hey, we're going to Cabo. And he's like, are you down? Oh, was it Miami first?
No, it was Cabo first.
And then I had just broken up with my girlfriend for a 5-year relationship. And so it was kind of at that moment, right? So I was like...
Yeah, because when I first met you, you were in a relationship. I met you in Fullerton. I remember this.
Yeah. Oh, you met her, huh?
Yeah, I did meet her when you guys were together.
You met her, yeah.
Yeah. And then after that, you guys broke up, and we already had a planned trip to Cabo. And then that's when he's like, you want to come with? And you're like, fuck it, let's roll. And then, hey...
I was hurt.
The journey began.
So... You're like our Leonardo DiCaprio. Like, girls reach a certain age or time frame with you, and then you boot them. Where did this come from? Like, I need to understand the magic.
I wish I had the power he has. I don't have the power.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, it seems like
he did. He was in a full-on relationship with his girlfriend at the time, but there were just troublesome moments where that broke off.
I lived with her. We lived together for 5 years. We lived together.
There were a connection, but once they broke off, that's where Manuel or Manny came out of the woods as a single man, exploring the world after that.
But I feel
this is who we have now.
I know, but since then he's had like...
Welcome.
This is who the man has become.
I feel like you've had a few relationships like that, like 2-3 years. Yeah. You're together with people and then you fall off, right?
But not living in the same place.
No doubt. But still, like there's clearly boundaries
an attempt. There's an attempt.
I don't know about it, and I don't want to say there isn't an attempt, but there's clear boundaries that he's setting. And I'm trying to
figure out... I think this comes too from one other previous relationship that kind of like...
Yeah, we don't want to talk about that.
That's the main one.
We're not that drunk.
That's the main one.
But there's... Okay. I mean, I have... I don't want to say commitment issues because that's really whatever cliche. But I just like to be free. And I think that's my thing.
That's smart.
I like to be free. I don't like to be, you have to be here and get permission. Like, I just don't like that. And I never did because... Ever since I was young, like as soon as I turned 18, I wanted to leave the house. I moved to Arizona. I went to college there. Like I just wanted to leave.
Yeah, that's true. You joined the military on top of that.
At what age did you get out of the military?
I don't know, 24.
Oh, 24. Dang.
Oh, so you didn't have college years.
No, I did. I went to Cal State Fullerton for like a year.
So at 18, 19, you went to college and then you went into...
I went to the military at 20.
Wow, yeah. Early on.
So, but Yeah, I don't know. I always think back and I'm like, even with my family, like they always say, oh, because I don't see them that often. They even joked about it today. They're like, oh, I'll see you next year or whatever, Like,
do they?
Nephews,
Did they? Yeah.
But, and I know I should probably be better about that.
More, of course.
Because they're growing up quick, but I like being alone. Like, I like solitude, like, because, you're in sales, right? Like, I talk to clients and people all day, so it's like, I like to go home and just, like, not talk.
Yeah, I lived with Manny for a bit, and Manny would kind of lock himself in his room and just, like, read a book or something and kind of not hang out with the rest of the people. He would hang out with us, obviously, but for the most part, he'd be in his room.
Yeah. I think you say you call jerking off reading a book, right?
It's the same thing, right? Am I the only one?
It's basically the same thing. But I know exactly what you mean. Like, after a day of talking all day, the last thing I want to do is fucking entertain anybody with any kind of stories. And here I am, presently talking.
Yeah, but we're the boys.
It is.
Yeah, it's a little different.
It is different.
Because you want to do this.
It's true.
I always argue that I'm that type, but people always say, no, you're a fucking social person.
You're very social.
I feel people talk to me and I just talk back.
Yeah, I feel like you're selective though. Like you sometimes
yes,
you can turn it on.
I am very selective.
I see that.
Yeah, super fair.
And I'm the same way.
But as a salesman,
and Marlon here just rambles bullshit constantly.
I wish you could stop.
What I was trying to get at.
Stop.
What I was trying to get at before you got here is I was trying to figure out the relationship between Chewy and Marlon, where it started, and how it progressed to a level where Chewy is both of his kids' godparents, right? Like, he's the godparent of both of his kids.
He probably knows some dirty secret.
Correct. Right?
Correct.
I know dirty secrets for everybody.
But the magic out of all of it is that these fools fight so fucking much.
I think it's because we push each other
fight so fucking much.
It's not.
But it's like in a friendly banter.
Because I love this guy. I love this guy to the fullest.
Yo, last time it was
because I do it is because I know what his buttons are.
I know his buttons.
Are you trying to say, Tony, that they're fucking?
I'm absolutely trying to say that they're fucking. Dude, they argue so much. At one point, like the last time we were hanging out, I guess Chewy hit up Marlon.
But
let me finish. Chewy hit up Marlon because there's like a group chat that's going on for like fantasy football. Marlon was giving him a hard time about it, and he was like, bitch, what do you like? Call them out, like something on the side, right? So then we're talking about it because Marlon's like laughing that he was clowning and he was just pressing his buttons. And them telling me about it, they got heated and started arguing in the room with me.
Okay, great. Manny was there for the draft.
Mm-hmm. For the draft, but not in the room after you guys started talking about it and then started arguing.
You heard one perspective. At the draft, which was the conversation of that heated moment, Manny saw that as soon as I walked in, we're talking mad shit about the commissioner. In our draft, right? And I was the lead man on this whole...
We want Caesar to be the commissioner.
Correct, right? And when Caesar was the number one draft pick to be the commissioner, but I was like second in command.
Commissioner Junior.
Trying to come, but didn't.
Because they couldn't go up.
Because I couldn't. Because there's so much work behind it.
What happens is
so much.
There's a lot of work that goes into being the commissioner, especially with a league like this one where you have people like fucking Marlon and Hector who just constantly bitch about nonsense. But here's what the problem was. I was already kind of like ticked off and frustrated with shit outside of the league. And then I'm trying to get shit done in the league. And then it came up to the whole Airbnb stuff and then like a lot of stuff to get the freaking draft going. And these fuckers weren't voting. They weren't putting their input in. But it came down to the point where like all they did was talk shit on stuff that wasn't related to furthering the situation.
Yeah. No, okay. Overall,
I agree. You have a tough crowd to deal with.
First of all,
Yes,
man,
If I had to deal with first off Hector.
Yeah, Hector's a tough one too.
He's my battle buddy now, but he pisses me off.
Oh,
And by the way, battle buddy means that when we travel, that's the person you're responsible for, and they're responsible for you.
Yes.
This is a tradition we started a while back, where just in case, because we get fucked up when we go out, we do stupid shit.
You need a person to
Yeah, you need somebody to be your backup, and then you back them up.
Whatever you do,
whatever reason.
this man is gonna represent you.
Because we tend to travel in crowds, and you can't be responsible for 10 dudes, so we just one guy. That's your man.
Everybody get a guy. And so, Manny, you know Hector. Hector is a shit talker and a complainer and a fucking...
A diva.
I wouldn't call him a shit talker. He doesn't know how to talk shit.
Well,
I'm teaching him.
Well, we'll welcome you back. You've been missing for a couple of years.
That's his first
Okay, now...
Wait, where was I?
People don't want to hear about fantasy football, though. I mean, that's just a transition.
Oh, you're talking about
yeah.
fantasy.
We're talking about fantasy football, yeah. No, because we need a new commissioner, right? Our commissioner nowadays is such a...
I have a hat that says I'm commissioner, bitch.
But nobody's a bitch.
I think he's fine.
No,
I don't think Caesar wants to deal with
Okay.
Hector. I think he's fine.
Anthony is his man.
Honestly, this year my team is not the best because I did so many fuck ups because my list didn't come
Okay.
up. I was so busy trying to get shit going at Dave & Buster's.
That's false.
No.
That's false. Everybody who was at the draft.
Wasn't that the same excuse you lose to
I wish everybody who was
No.
at
I ended
the
up
draft
first in the
was
league
here.
last year, didn't win the championship, obviously. But
Listen, the commissioner has not gotten any better than 6th place
that's a lie.
in the last 17 years.
That's a lie.
Because he's commissioner. It's
False.
Do you guys know I'm 2014 champion? Can we announce that? Does Tony know that?
Tony's not even,
Tony, I'm a 2014
Tony's not even
champion.
in the league.
And they always
He
say
is not in the
that
league.
someone
He's
was
never
running the
won.
league, I wasn't running the team, blah, blah, blah. And I was like,
Okay. I'm 2010 champ. 2012 actually.
2010? What year?
2012.
were we alive then?
That's 10 years ago, man. How old were you back then?
Probably 2. I don't know.
200.
I aged well, I guess.
But like, as soon as we got into the draft, everybody was reading for a new commissioner. It wasn't my cause. It wasn't what I want.
Wait. So before we transition out of this conversation, I like how they ended up escalating into an argument.
And Chewy's pissed now.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna go piss.
Which the whole thing was about how are you guys friends when you guys argue this much?
That's what friendship.
And how is he the padrino of 2 of your kids?
We're going.
Yeah.
That's actually where the question started. You haven't answered.
Before you got here, right? There's a cult involved.
Yeah, I was trying to
There's a
figure
cult.
out.
Yeah.
I was trying to
You guys
figure
were
out.
discussing the call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I laughed so hard
That was a
because
fake
the
laugh.
story
Go ahead.
goes way back into our high school years. For this gentleman,
They fucked in their high school. I knew it.
And you
no,
know,
we weren't in the same sport. He was a
Like this
baseball player.
bubble?
He was a baseball player. Have you played baseball?
When I was a kid, but not really.
Football?
No, I'm not an athlete.
he just looks like one.
No,
I
not
just play
really.
one on TV.
Not really.
I just look.
Tony's giving so much credit to
I'm being
Manny
jealous.
right now. You just look like one at 39 years old.
He knows me. Hey, game knows game.
Yeah.
Game knows game. Right?
Yeah. It's
Hey,
nice guy.
you know you're talking to Marlon right now.
It's true.
Sumo Marlon.
Sumo.
Thank you. That's who he is. He's my twin.
By the way, I'd win a sumo match. I've
I
had
feel like
I've
he's
had like 5 in my
avoiding the
life.
question.
He's super avoiding the question.
No, I'm
Just
not
answer it directly. Don't give us his backstory. Straight up. Why?
Okay.
That's
What's the question?
that's a great
Okay,
approach.
what was your question?
How does he not remember the question?
Here,
We
let
asked
me.
it like 3
Okay, hold
times.
on. Can I answer
Wait,
this?
wait. Chu's gonna answer the wrong question. Go ahead, Chu.
All right.
No, wait. Which question? Was
What are we talking
I
about?
was like, why am I his?
Why is he padrino of
Yeah.
both of your kids?
Both of
Exactly.
them.
That's what I'm
Direct
trying to get at.
answer.
Direct. Why?
I want to hear
Why
from
both?
him though.
But it starts back in 2004 with a fucking trip to Santa Barbara where we were at a party and I convinced this dude, there's this chick, dude. She's feeling you. She's vibing you. You gotta go for it. And he's like, no way.
You're the reason why he's in the position he's in?
Yes.
And you're rewarding him, Marlon? By making him your kid's godparents? Dude, I'd kick him out of the house.
No. He's stuck for life.
Oh, he's in this with you.
For life.
I got it. You're like, fuck you. Yeah, like,
No.
I got
no
it.
suffering.
Okay.
No, his kids are great.
The kids are awesome.
Aggressively shaking his head no. Aggressively.
Since there's no video, we have to describe what's going on.
I wish you guys had that on video. But no. Yes, he is the man that
He's the reason
pushed
why
me to think
pushed
that the girl that I was looking at and talking to at that moment was into me. She walked away.
What?
And I said, cool.
To my
she's
defense,
not. She's
what
not.
a
She said,
dickhead.
I thought, and honestly,
Right?
He wanted to get rid of him or
full
something.
That's what it
honest. She walked away. She
He
walked
saw
out.
a lot of potential and he's like, I
He
can't let
comes
this happen.
up to my ear.
You know what will ruin him? You know what will cripple him financially,
I
professionally?
didn't even
A
think about it that way.
relationship.
I didn't even think about it that way.
to be
That-
fair,
You know,
That's how he
Did you
got
hate
about
him
it.
that
I just
much?
watched
To my
the
defense.
the other day,
to my defense,
and he is my fucking conscience, right?
to my defense, I'm not fucking Jiminy Cricket.
You
To
were.
my defense,
You were.
to
You
my
were.
defense,
Because you told me.
In your defense.
in my defense,
Oh
Yes.
my god.
and for my defense, to my defense, in my defense,
Oh, you were like,
it was a random trip to Santa Barbara. We were all Santa Ana
No,
college
it wasn't
students.
random.
Yeah, hold
it
on.
wasn't random.
Well, we chose it. We literally.
It's so hard to make sure.
I feel like
We
you guys
set it
used
up
to
in
go
a
on
week.
these
But we
trips
made
in
sure-
Halloween, so if it was in Halloween, it wasn't random. Go ahead.
We tried so hard to get
we
there.
set this trip up in a week for Halloween. You're correct. And we were Santa Ana college students. See, I was just trying to get this dude laid or some action.
Was he a virgin?
No.
His brother was.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, that's another.
No, but you know what? The thing is I was just trying to get him some action. This dude was just chilling there, and I just tried to set him up. Here's the
This
thing.
is how it happened, guys. Real quick.
So
real
she
quick.
didn't even want you. He made up
Real
a
quick.
story.
Real quick. Okay,
She
so
doesn't want him now. Have you met her at all?
Listen.
Have you seen him interact?
listen. This is how
She's
quick-
more trapped than he is at this point. She's got 2
Trust
kids, bro.
She's still disappointed.
Yeah.
Here's my
Does
point.
she still hate you?
Here's my point.
She
We
hates you
left.
more.
We left. I didn't know this motherfucker was gonna out of nowhere transfer to UC Santa Barbara and then meet her again.
That was a year. And
Beyond
Wait,
that,
did you move out there?
year and a half
Randomly?
later.
hey,
Yeah.
beyond that, that's out of my control.
Yeah. Okay, so
No, it's
okay,
not.
so here's the story.
Okay, yeah, I see
All
the
right, so
point.
here's the story. We
So-
went up to Santa Barbara
Can you get to the
for a
point?
weekend.
That's true, dude. I want Manny here more often. I feel like he cuts right to right through it. Like, let's go. What's the answer?
Well, life is short. Just give me the fucking answer, bro.
All right. Overall,
Yeah.
this man
Mhm.
has been through it all, thick and thin. Part of the group, part
With
of the
you?
men
With you?
that all my friends that have been part of, and beyond all that, he's the one that got us all together. Who I know, what I know, so I made him part of the family.
Twice?
What,
though?
2 kids?
Dude, I was thinking the same thing for a
No,
while.
Let's switch it up.
No way couldn't have got one?
No, I already had 2 Kenny, and he wasn't there after like 4 years. This guy was with a kid.
Yo,
done great.
I will say this.
Why am I gonna switch it up?
Yo, let's pause for a second
Why am
and consider
I
how
gonna
this
switch
is
it up?
not true. Right?
No,
I'm gonna say in Colombia, Chewy helped you the least.
You know
when
why?
you broke your leg.
you know why?
Why?
You know why? Because he paid
know
for
why?
half of it. he paid for half of it.
Half of what?
Half of my trip over there.
Did he?
Yep.
You paid half of it with borrowed money?
How did you even consider it?
So he doubled down on his borrow.
Wait, so
Why I had it? Why I had it? To
So
do it.
Chewy was borrowing from like multiple people to let him borrow money. So
No,
we,
no, I
did
had
we
it.
all go on borrowed money?
I
It
paid.
sounds like
I mean, I feel like you
Isn't
fronted
that what
the
credit
bulk of the
cards are
money and we
for?
all
Yeah,
paid.
it's exactly-
that's exactly what
Right?
credit cards are
Like,
for.
I feel like that's how
I
it
don't
works.
understand. I understand.
I mean, like,
I gotta show the points.
You paid and you're like, hey, and we
Yeah,
just
yeah.
kept
So Manny got
sending
the
you money.
points.
Okay.
We get it.
So your complaint is what?
No, I just think it's funny how it's coming out because I didn't know this part that like he borrowed money, but then he borrowed into borrow, so you can borrow it too.
I was American.
Why didn't you want to ask like one of us, or you feel more? You have like more confidence, like you're more comfortable asking
Right,
shit.
right. When have I asked for borrowed? Right. So it's just like.
To be fair, I have never asked to borrow the money. They're buying the trip, and I go, I'll get you when this time.
Yeah. Well, with the boys, right? It's like you all want to go.
That's different.
And I'll say this: Chewy is good about paying back.
And there is this thing of like. There is this thing that, like, not for nothing, joking aside, like, money's so fucking stupid, dude. Money's money.
Yeah.
Right.
It is the stupidest thing in the world.
The fact that I knew Tony was going made me even more comfortable of going because it was his first time traveling. It was my first time traveling.
No, it's not his first time traveling. It was his first time traveling outside of, like, Mexico.
Okay, so that's my same thing. I never traveled outside of Mexico.
I want to dig into that.
Yeah.
Why?
You're not into traveling?
I haven't even been in Vegas.
Why?
In all honesty, dog, like, I hang out with my boys. I hang out with people I like. And I get to stay in my own bed at the end of the night. I feel like a lot of my memories, a lot of the nights, I crack jokes, I laugh, I have a good-ass time. And I've never felt the need to be like, well, I got to go to another country to experience that good time there. Because I have such a social circle of friends that, like, I interact with on such a regular basis that I've never felt the need to do that.
But you're not interested to see, like, how other cultures live, try their foods, just to kind of get out of the bubble? No?
Never really been my bag, dude. Like, not to say that I'm like, I don't knock it on other people, you know?
I don't think it's so much.
Been my thing.
I don't think it's so much the experiencing thing. I think to him it's more like the inconvenience of the travel.
That is not nothing.
It's becoming worse, too.
Dude, that's not nothing. Like, I will say, like, the 10-hour trip to get to Colombia. I remember, like, we were sleeping on the floor. I didn't complain nothing because I was like, I'm grateful to be invited. I'm not gonna shit. I'm not gonna be that person that's complaining the whole time. But at the end of the 10 hours, I remember thinking, I was like, I'll probably never do this again. You know, like, because it's such an inconvenience. It's such an inconvenience, you know?
Yeah.
And although the memory's dope, super fun, like, grateful that I was a part of it, there's not a part of me that's like, oh, I want to do another one of those, like, 10-hour fucking flights.
I think the next 10-hour flight is if...
Well, I'm at that point in my life now where I've traveled enough to, like, where now I'm like, I don't really want to do it anymore, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't have that, like...
Yeah.
I feel like you're... Like, my whole thing is, like, wherever you are, that's... Wherever your mind's at, you're going to take it with you anyways.
Yeah.
Whatever problems you have...
That's a really good point.
You're going to travel and... the scenery's going to be different. But you take yourself with you, like your mind, right?
It's so funny you were saying that. Before you got here, me and Marlon were talking, like, when we were getting drunk on the table. I was telling him, I was like, I feel like what you think passes through everything, right? So, like, if you're like, people hate me, or people don't appreciate me, you're going to be like, my family doesn't appreciate me, my work doesn't appreciate me, my friends don't appreciate me.
And you can be in Spain.
Like, it don't matter what you're doing.
I appreciate you.
It was weird the way he touched me. He, like, caressed me in such a way.
He reached it and he held it for like...
He held it for a little bit, right? It was like with his fingers.
Because he wanted to feel the muscles.
Enough to make him uncomfortable and like it.
Super fair.
I'm sorry, go finish your point.
But no, that is the point. Like, that I feel like whatever you think will be the prism of what you look through the rest of your interactions and the rest of your relationships. And that also, it's a good point. I never considered it, that no matter where you're at, that's probably what you're going to ultimately
your mind's going to follow you, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like you go to a new place and like all these problems go away, or you're
they probably would for like 2-3 days, a week.
Yeah, if you get
and then
wasted,
they come back. Yeah,
but not even through. I've traveled even throughout the day. You're still thinking about shit, right? Like that you would normally think about at home, right? Like you're like, I still have to come to like bullshit at home, right? Or
I still have to come back
to work, back to this. So I don't think, and I think people like to travel to escape.
Yeah,
but it's not a true escape. Right?
I don't think personally it's not an escape for me. To me, it's like experience a new place, see a little bit of that culture, experience a new place, and especially like a lot of my traveling has been party travel.
Right.
So it's more like, oh, we're gonna go to a new place and experience that place as a group, and I get it. But to me, like I said, it's more of like getting out of the bubble that we're already in, because you don't get to see a lot of what is out there because we live in such a big bubble, especially here in Orange County. Like even when COVID hit, COVID didn't really hit in the way it hit in other places. Like LA was shut the hell down, like shut down, and Orange County was still popping off in a certain way.
Huntington?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, we live in a true bubble.
Cities,
we live in a true bubble.
Well, if you think about it, everybody lives in a bubble. Even people in China, like
correct.
Like your mind, it creates a bubble, right? Because it depends how you're raised, whatever. You have all these biases, whatever. Like these culture, right? Society creates like this bubble for you.
But that's why you travel and you experience a little bit of different,
right?
Like a little perspective from.
Right. But I think you have to have that itch, and obviously Tony doesn't have it.
And to that point, like I've gotten to the point where like the hassle of dealing with the airport, the flight, that part of it sucks. If they could create a fucking portal that I can walk through, anybody would travel.
Not gonna happen in our lifetime.
No.
I think it goes beyond all that too.
But
not only the edge, like people want to travel.
And yet here comes Manny's 40th in Brazil. Dun, 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 dun.
Is Tony gonna make it?
He's 38 and he's planning his 40th.
Are you 38 really planning your 40th?
Yeah, I'm about to be 39 now.
Yeah, he's about to be.
I was like, get the fuck out of here. Okay.
So he'll be 40 next year.
This guy's serious. This guy's a real deal.
No.
I was like, man, I don't want to miss this.
Beyond all that. And giving credit to Manny, he planned a great bachelor party in Colombia.
Dude,
by all means,
it down, for sure.
By all means, like
it was a good
that
time.
trip.
The moment we got
that trip
off,
was set up perfectly.
Dude, the moment we got off the plane, the fact that we didn't even have to leave our bags before our first set, we left them in a van, bro.
We were complaining that we waited 30 minutes, 40 minutes in the airport for our bus driver or van driver to pick us up. And as soon as he did, where was the first stop? A liquor store.
Yeah.
A liquor store with a 40-pack.
They
give you a bag of fucking beer with ice.
Followed immediately by ATVs through the mountains of Medellin.
Yeah. We never got that video that they told us that they were taking.
I forgot to hit the guy out.
I forgot,
I fucked up. Like that, because we kept going, and by the time I lost.
Yeah, honestly, Medellin was like, we get there, we start going, we party the fuck out of it. We literally went from partying till 3 a.m. We're drunk, getting to the airport to go to
Our first night was amazing.
And then
I remember it clearly because I broke.
Wasted.
Dead.
I remember it clearly because I broke my ankle the first night, and that's how amazing it was.
He
That's how excited you are. He's like, freedom.
Freedom was expected, and some way, somehow, my mom and my wife prayed to the Lord to not let me enjoy, and He made it happen.
He listened.
It's real.
So what's something maybe about you, Tony, that people don't know about you? Because we've just met not long ago. I think Colombia was like one of the first times where it's like, oh, cool, I know him now.
I'm pretty one-dimensional. I'm like super boring, if I'm being super honest.
Really?
Oh, dude, I'm so...
Is that why you're like a gym rat?
Part of it, I think. Vanity, obviously, is a big part of my gym rat. But it's my only me thing left, right? Like, that's my me thing, right? But, like, something that people don't super know about me is that at work, like, I started in the lowest department in the organization.
Oh, a bank?
Of a bank, let's say bank.
You were a teller?
Financial institution?
No, I was in facilities.
Lower than a teller.
I was setting up
custodian.
I was setting up boardrooms and delivering mail, and like.
So he was a mail guy. I just say mail guy.
Yeah, that's how I started, and that was in 2005, and just this year I'm in charge of a department that brings in like. What is it like? Money. Yeah, $8 million worth of work, or eight.
What is that department?
It's an investment department.
Oh, so you're in the.
We don't want to get into too many details.
No, I don't need him to, but I just need to know you're from a mailroom to investment room.
Yeah. So what made you get up there? Like, did you have the drive, the personality? Yeah. What was it?
I think it's a little bit of everything, but I think a lot of it is like. So insight is like corporate America. Once you figure out how to work within corporate America and you understand the rules and the structure around it, you can move up, and it's not a talent thing. Because I tell people, dude, like, there's zero talent to me. I'm just a sequence of patterns repeated without fail. And because I'm super consistent, that's really like the big selling point to me.
Yeah.
So did you have somebody who guided you or helped you understand these patterns?
No, I think I was fortunate in part of growing up and having friends, right? So like within the department, I recruited like half of the people that work in the department from like, that's my boy, come work. And then they put it down for you because they're your boys. And that's how like half the department. So then because I helped them get into the department, they rep me super hard because they're like, that's a good dude because I brought him in. And like,
so you have some loyalty in there.
I have a lot of loyalty within that, but it's also like you come through for people. Like if you're consistent about coming through for people, they have things that they're going through, like, and you help them through it. And like because of when I started and how I started, I just have a big footprint. You know, I'm stubborn, bro. I think that helps me a lot. I'm well spoken. I think that helps me a lot. But
stubborn in what way?
Like I'm stubborn in the way that if there's something that's not working, I'm gonna find a way, despite what anybody says.
You don't take a no, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't take a no.
Yeah. Despite when anybody says, I'm gonna figure out a way that's gonna make it work better for most people. Not everybody, but for most people.
Yeah, you can't make everyone happy.
You can never make everyone happy.
Especially in corporate.
But it's crazy. So something people wouldn't know about me is like, you know, like I talk like a degenerate, but like I have like 25 people that report to me from an advisory group. I have another 6 that report to me from an operation group, and another 2 assistant managers that all report to me, which is kind of crazy to consider, you know?
Yeah.
Like here's this guy.
Yeah.
How long was that?
About 10 years.
10 years from the mail room to
from the mail room, it was from 05 to about this year.
So almost 17 years per se.
Mm-hmm.
But for you, the way I look at it, like you have like the gift of gab, right? You can talk, right? And not a lot of people have that.
But that's the crazy thing. He doesn't believe he had that. He just had
I think
set up in mind that he had to follow, and he was very, very strict on that following, right? Like,
I think when he was a male guy, he didn't have it. Like, I feel like you grew into it. Am I wrong?
No, you're right. Like I think there's a lot of it that you figure out how to work. Like you
play the game.
Yeah, within corporate America, there's something to corporate America that people completely discount, and it's like they say it's like fake or whatever, and it's not. It's like you just gotta figure out what works. Like one of the biggest downfalls to people in corporate America is they think that doing their job is sufficient, and doing your job puts you at your job, and being good at your job puts you good at your job. If you want to move up, you have to figure out one of the analogies that I tell people all the time is it's a push-up contest, but we're doing squats. So like it's great that you're great at push-ups, bro, but this is a squat contest. So you got to figure out how to be good at squats if you want to move up.
Way to bring it back to working out.
100%. You know, all my analogies revolve around it.
But you don't work out. You don't look like you work out at all.
You're just trying to be hurtful now. It's working. It's super working.
He hates me for it. No, you know what? It was funny. I just saw a real clip on Kobe Bryant talking to Kanye West.
It was a commercial.
RIP commercial. And he's talking to Kanye West. He's like, I need you to work harder. And Kanye replies with, I am the best. And he's like, but you can become better. And Kanye is like, how much better? More better. And that's Kobe's reply. And he's like, well, how much more work do I need to do? And Kobe replies with more work, right? So and then the last thing he says, he was like, are you the same animal and a different beast? Right? Which, it's a mind fuck of a comment, right? Like, how can you be the same animal and a different beast? But if you're the greatest of what you do, I think you understand that to that.
I guess that's
idea. Is that basically saying you're human But the beast part is like you're a legend.
Correct.
You become the legend and whatever.
I guess that ties back to what Tony was saying. Yeah, you might be good at push-ups, but can you squat? Yeah.
Right, but nobody works out as much as he does, so Kobe said it better.
Super fair. Kobe does.
I don't always think it's about like who's working hard, because you can be working hard at the wrong thing, right?
Correct.
So to me, it would be like find there's this quote I read. It's like find something that like that is play to you that looks like work to others, right?
Correct.
And there is, because sometimes I'm like, oh, I can't. Like, for example, no, I can't code, right? Like to him, but that's probably play for him. So to him, that's good, right? Yeah. It's like everybody, I think, has a gift that you're like, oh, I want to do that. I want to pursue that, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And other people are like, oh, I would hate to do that.
Yeah.
Right? So I think finding that gift and then becoming a legend at it, becoming really good at it, I think that's the key, right?
Yeah. And finding a level of fulfillment from it, right?
Yeah.
Like with me at work, dude, like I recruit to have the crew that works there. I work with my friends. Like it makes it so not work for me. And like legit, like when I reach out, like part of leadership is personal relationships. I'm homies with half of these people, right? It's like I genuinely have a relationship with them. So it makes it super easy for me to trust them. It makes it super easy for me to reach out and be like, what's going on? Want to listen to them, want to figure out what they're going through, what they're feeling. Like all of that makes it so much easier because of the relationship that I have with them. So like if you find some fulfillment within what you're doing, it's what you're saying where like it's fun. It doesn't feel like work. It plays to your strengths to a degree.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So makes sense.
Yeah, and I agree. Management is a whole different perspective in regards to that business area.
Yeah.
Right. Being a boss of a person, it's understanding what the idea of a boss may consider within that job. You're not trying to come in as a person who's just going to tell people what to do. You're going to come in as a person to motivate people what to do. Help them and include yourself with it. And I agree with that. Like the ability to have people that you can talk to comfortably and know your way makes it easier to build that relationship because it's not personal. We're in a business. Mm-hmm. We're growing.
Mm-hmm. I have a question for Manny. Let's completely change topics.
Yeah, switch it to Manny.
Right. And I'm going to make it selfish because it's still going to be about me. So we've been around the same people forever. All the same social group. How did we only become friends after this Colombia trip?
Because we didn't link up a lot. Oh, I just think because we met like maybe a handful of times.
A handful of times, right?
But we're just an acquaintance, right? Like I knew you because you're Chewy's cousin,
right?
But I mean, obviously you have to spend time with people to get to know.
Get to know, yeah.
So I think obviously Colombia was kind of the first time we're like
we just jived too, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's the same thing because like we just like talk shit.
I think to bring it to that point is a lot of times you hang out with people who you jive with, and I think if you jive with somebody, most other people you hang out with should jive as well.
It's true.
Because you blend
in. You tend to have similar crowds, you know?
Yeah, and you pick up those mannerisms.
People, just energy, vibes, you know?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, exactly. So that being said, I think he's going to make Brazil happen based off just that comment. You walked into that one, dude.
It's super fair.
You walked in. All right, Marlon, you're up. I feel like I'm interviewing you guys. So
why?
What's up? What's something that we don't know about you that you're just like...
Oh, man.
Other than you're gay, because we know that. Right?
Not true. Very happily...
Okay, I'm gay then.
Straightforward man. Love the women. One woman. Happily married.
Should we edit that part out?
Let me take the marker.
Miserably married.
Something new. I was telling these gentlemen earlier. I am a head coach at the moment.
Oh, really?
I'm a flag football head coach. Just got hired for free.
Nice.
Yep. Happily enjoying.
So you're volunteering?
I'm volunteering.
That is
for his own kid.
That's what it means for free, right?
Yeah, his own kid.
For who? For your son?
Yes, my son is.
He's already playing flag football.
Kindergarten,
bro,
and he is in flag football.
It's wild how fast time flies, huh?
and it's a great opportunity for me.
Your son's gonna be a ladies' man, huh? He's got the hair.
Not only does he have the hair, he has the ability to just talk. He just goes off.
Yeah. Obviously he got it.
Yeah, his dad just blabbers nonsense.
But he's probably smarter than his dad already, huh?
Yes.
100%. And 10 times.
I think everybody who's been listening to the podcast already knows that.
He is.
Can he be on the next podcast who's sub for Marlon?
That would be great. I'd welcome
He
that.
would say more than what I'm saying now.
Probably make more sense.
In English and Spanish.
No, I do want to discuss this because I know you were pursuing comedy for some time. What happened there? Tell us about that experience.
Oh my goodness.
When you were pursuing comedy, I know you were in an improv group.
Yeah.
All right.
Was there anything outside of that? Like, was there aspirations for like stand-up comedy or anything else like that? Or was it like acting or just strictly there and you were going to see what that transition did?
So I early on started in acting. Very early on, believed that I could do something within that range. Tried, learned.
Did you go to auditions and stuff?
Yes, I did. Was in some films early on in college. Also learned a couple classes. Later on,
by films, he means he was a background pirate for Pirates of the Caribbean.
I did background.
He was a palm tree and porn. And what's that movie with Will Ferrell? Semi-pro.
So the cool thing about when I was doing it in college, these opportunities came easily. They came up, and I had these opportunities come up to where the work came to me rather than me looking. Which made me fall in love with it more, just because in my own eyes, I believe that there was something seen before me, before doing it, which was called upon. Later on, life comes, right? Like, a situation comes about. I continue.
Your daughter.
Yeah, me being a parent, me creating a family. I still worked on my acting, came back, took some classes, did some theater. Then within later of years, I did the improv.
Okay.
I felt that I was really growing in my comedic stagecraft on that. Did it, and then in regards of learning the improv, I wanted to learn in writing and directing and learning more behind just doing the funny stuff, right? I wanted to write funny stuff. I wanted to record it and had a vision of how that was going to be shown. Didn't really do it much upon, but I started writing. Within the writing of it, stand-up came about, where I was got a job at the Irvine Improv. Started seeing comedians perform their comedy, and understanding that these are all monologues. Like, if you want to be a comedian, you need to write your stuff and practice it.
Mm-hmm.
Monologues are you up by yourself 2, 3, 4 minutes saying everything to your best ability on your own.
Right.
Learning that.
Like freestyling, basically.
No, it's not freestyling.
Oh,
it's actually memorizing it because you're performing it 2, 3 times a night, right? So, like, I saw Joe Rogan live. I saw comedians perform it 2, 3 times a night, as the very first night to the very last show, right? They're repeating itself exactly the same. What's surprising for me was like, oh, these are monologues.
It's not that hard.
It's it's hard.
Well, it's memorized jokes, right?
Yeah,
it's about delivery.
But your delivery is...
Manny forgets to grab the mic.
Right? Your delivery is the joy of hearing the laughter.
But the delivery, like, there's a cadence to how you deliver and how the words have to flow.
Correct.
And the pause when it happens, and the tonality of how you even deliver jokes, right?
Everything is timed.
Yeah.
And so that was your monologue. Your monologue is when to stop, hear the laugh, right? You know what your joke is. To stop yourself and give the people that moment
after the punchline
for them to react. If they don't react, then you continue, right? Like you set up your joke, you say the punchline, and then
I don't mean to cut you off.
But you are?
You're not answering my question. You went on a tangent.
I just wanted to express it.
Marlon tends to go off on tangents.
Yeah, I just started to notice that.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm figuring out something about both of them. Chewy goes on the most tangents.
Okay. So I was just trying to start a story, right?
You didn't listen to the first episode. I started talking about how he's like Chewy.
I like to give background information to the same story, but I get back to the point.
Correct. Dude, I wasn't there yet. I was about to.
You listen to the first episode. I literally was starting by going like, Chewy, one of the things that I want to talk to you about is like, you're this world traveler that's on a budget, right? Like you're a self-proclaimed poor person, and he goes on and tells me about his work history.
That's not true.
I'm like,
it would be a bad interview.
At one point, I was like, so what I was trying to ask was like, I want to know about how you are so good at traveling with low funds. People are gonna benefit from how you managed to do that.
I think you and I, we cut to the point, right? Okay.
You know what?
Time is of essence. Like, what is the point here?
All right. So, what was your question again?
Yeah, I was gonna say like you were pursuing comedy. Like, what happened?
What happened?
I didn't want you to give me the history of like Rogan.
You know what? No.
And like comedy and that.
COVID happened and shut down the improv.
Dude, I cannot be.
You cannot do comedy online. By all means, if you are,
you could have started a podcast. A lot of people got started.
No, it's different because as a stand-up comic. As a stand-up comic, how do you know people are enjoying your comedy?
What I'm saying is you could have created skits, right?
No, and which is totally different.
I feel like you and Chewy can figure something out.
And me and Chewy did have sit-downs, conversations. We had brainstorming time frames where we came along. We're like,
and then you got too high.
Well, weed was involved, yes, but
we doesn't.
But we're different people because I thought of an idea. He was also thinking of those, how we could see it in camera based, but we needed a writer. A writer needed to put this down on paper too. Then once we stopped, and when we got back together again, somebody had to be like, okay, read your line. This is what you have to say. This is what we're doing. This is what he had in the mind to record it, but we have to keep it in line. We're not improvising this anymore, right? That the improv was the writing session. And so our writing session was...
You already answered my question. You said COVID. You could have just stopped there, dude.
I'm glad you understood that.
You're a dig, Tony.
Hey, so Manny, tell us.
Tell me, what are you doing to work out again, my man?
No, hold on. He does pull-ups. You don't know he does pull-ups. Look at him. Does pull-ups.
You know, I started eating more because I'm like, I need to start eating more. I'm on a bulk up because I was more on just like eat enough just to survive, right?
Do you have any other questions?
I know it's like I'm like, is this my podcast?
I almost feel like it is.
He came in asking questions. Didn't want to hear what's
funny. I like to let people talk because I don't like to talk.
Yeah?
So I'm like, hey, go ahead and talk.
I wouldn't believe that too. What your questions are.
And if you let Marlon talk, he's gonna talk.
I know. That's why I had to cut him off. I'm like, all right, this is getting out of control.
COVID happened. That's what happened.
That's all you had to say, bro.
I did.
Yeah, we're not.
You stayed quiet, and I had to.
Yeah, because I was like,
fill in.
I was gonna be silence. Like, is any of the other guys gonna stop you? And I'm like, I don't think they are. So
I was so tuned out, bro, when he started.
You were thinking about the Nate fight, right?
I was like, shit, that was how long ago?
You're not asking about working out. You're asking about comedy. Yeah, nothing to do with it.
Nothing to do with it at all.
Honestly. I like comedy. There's not a lot of good comedians right now. I like Tim Dillon. You know Tim Dillon?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Tim Dillon.
I like him more on his podcast. His stand-up was all right.
There's such a switch between someone's stand-up versus them on podcast, right?
Very different. Very.
I mean, I'm a big fan of Andrew Santino as a stand-up and as a podcast guy.
Dude, I love Andrew Santino with certain people.
Yeah,
like I really like him with Chrissy D.
Chrissy D and him go off.
I love Chrissy D in podcasts. I don't like him in his own podcast, but I like him as a guest in other people's podcasts. But I'm not a huge fan of him in a stand-up capacity.
I like his stand-up.
I felt it was very. I don't know. It felt a little chaotic. Yeah,
but he's Chrissy Chaos.
And like then you see what's his name Ari Shaffir.
Dude,
I love Ari Shaffir's comedy. That dude's a savage, bro. This is a person you would love.
I know who he is.
Hilarious.
I'll put
super
him on
funny.
right now.
Like on Netflix.
Jewish guy. Yeah.
I'm gonna put him on
Netflix.
No, honestly,
have you seen his stand up on Netflix, or did you see him in person?
No, I haven't.
Or you've seen like segments,
like podcast segments, probably.
But that's the thing, right? That's what I'm trying to say. Is like on podcast, he's whack, but his stand up,
it's tough to make me laugh, though. That's the thing. Like I'm a tough critic.
Absolutely.
I find that
like if it's lame, I'm like, this is stupid.
No. On Netflix, you gotta see his stand up. Not
Hunt for the Edible.
You gotta see his Netflix
Passive Aggressive.
Nope.
Like Netflix has been on for like 15 years.
This is not Netflix. This is YouTube.
I feel like he doesn't have a subscription.
He doesn't. He's on YouTube.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
I don't think he has a stand up.
He does.
Point is, Ari Shaffir is stand-up wise is great. He pushes the limit a lot of time with his comedy, and then when it comes to
savage,
he's a full-on savage.
Dude. When I tell you, you will love him. Trust me.
I've seen him on Joe Rogan's podcast. I'm not a fan.
But that's the thing, dude. That's what I'm telling you.
I'm not a fan.
On podcast,
I know.
On podcast, he's trash. His stand-up is
you know, you have different tastes of girls. I think the same as comedy.
Fair.
It's not my...
Like Tim Dillon's okay for me. Like even his stand-up was okay. And his podcast is okay for me too. It's
That's
not
what
like
I'm saying.
It's not really attachment. Chrissy D for me, like that fool when he goes into other fucking podcasts, he's a savage too. Like he's wild. He's pure chaos.
Yeah. You want to hear him a little bit?
Correct. Yeah. I'll say this for real. This dude is you. How?
Oh,
dude, I'm telling you.
Maybe that's why I hate him.
Maybe that's why you hate him.
That might be a reason.
This dude.
Put it back on.
All right.
How's he me?
This dude, Ari Shaffir, is you. This dude does his job, decides, I want to get away, will go travel somewhere in the world for 3, 4, 5 months at a time. Radio silent, turns off his phone, doesn't talk to nobody. Right? Has a vasectomy because he doesn't want to be in a relationship or have kids.
I haven't gone that far. My shit still works.
But you should. I had a vasectomy. You should lock this down.
Yeah,
your shit was still working.
100%.
Your shit was still
I tell everybody, I only make a mistake once.
That wasn't a mistake.
Yeah, but I feel like if I get it, okay.
Dude, we can have matching scars. That's what I'm saying.
That's true. But let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Since you've had it,
100%.
Are your orgasms different?
Yes.
I know that they are.
It's true. They are.
You know why?
100%.
Because your mind knows that you can't impregnate her.
It's not even that, dude. I genuinely think there's a biological thing to it that bugs your orgasms.
Yeah.
I will.
They're not as good.
Nope. Facts.
Exactly.
Facts.
That's why I don't want to do it.
Facts.
Wait,
it's true.
So you both have vasectomies, Marlon and Tony.
Marlon has one too.
Yeah,
I disagree. It's more enjoyable.
No, it's not.
Knowing.
He's lying to you.
Knowing.
He's lying to you.
It's not the knowing. It's just in general.
No.
There's a biological something that fucks with your shit.
Listen.
Yeah?
Now, you did it why? Because you wanted no more kids.
I didn't want no more kids.
All right. So I did it because I wanted to come in her.
Which is the same thing.
But knowing that I'm coming there.
Right.
No. Which is different because he's like, I don't want to get her pregnant.
Which is
another with you is like, I just want to stay in there.
thing.
But I just want to stay in there.
Manny, I agree with you.
But the idea is I'm not going to get her pregnant even if I'm inside. Like, I could do it outside and I could do it inside.
How drunk is Marlon?
I haven't.
He killed half a bottle of
How drunk
Tito's.
is Marlon?
Before this thing started.
Before the literally saying the same thing.
No. But it's
with extra steps.
It's the fear of. It's not the fear of knowing, right? Like
no, but
before then, I would do it.
By the way, this
and I
episode
would hope that she would.
We're gonna have like a fight version of the podcast.
Is this like your longest? But this is gonna be your longest.
No, it's the second episode.
We've had 2 episodes.
Right.
This has gone way too long.
This has gone longer than the first one.
This is a part 2.
This has gone longer than the first one.
But here's my thing. The reason I asked Tony that is because I know when I jerk off versus coming in a girl, orgasms are very different. Right?
100%.
Oh my god!
Right.
You jerking off is very different from having
That's
sex.
what I'm saying. So that's why I asked him.
Yeah,
like, I feel like it would be different too because
they are.
Mentally, I'm like, oh, I can't impregnate her. So therefore, your orgasms are not going to be as intense. Because biologically, our mind, our body wants us to keep procreating. But if you know inside that you can't,
no, I think
I think you make a good point. I don't think that's the case. I genuinely think that biologically, though, you having the snip inhibits a certain amount of stuff getting out.
So you're talking about wiring the tubes.
Yeah, I do think that like I think biologically it fucks with, like, I will say, like,
if your girl tied her tubes and you didn't circumcise, or I mean you didn't snip yourself, then it would be more enjoyable because she did it rather than you.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's like biologically my tubing being cut is inhibiting.
He's saying that the soldier's missing from the juices.
But I'm not thinking about the soldiers when I'm doing it. That's my idea. My idea is I understand what I did. So my complaint was like, I don't pull out anymore.
How do we go from Irish to fucking
Tony,
I enjoy it not pulling out. I enjoy not pulling out.
Tell me what you mean is different.
So for me, what I would say is, like, I do think that there's a difference. And I have felt and have noticed a difference. And I don't know if it's age based or if it's that based. But I will say there's less that comes out. And that is a factor with the intensity of the orgasm.
Not only is it a factor, it's a literal fact.
So do you regret it?
No.
God, no. Dude, it was. Manny, it literally was one of the worst experiences of my life. It was so painful. It's so painful. I would do it again. I'm thinking of getting double knotted, bro, just to make sure.
What part was the painful? The snip?
No, bro. Like what it is?
Aftermath.
No. So the way it goes down is this way, right? Like they have you lay down and they go no anesthesia. They go lay down, pants down, right? Your face up. They go, don't move, don't touch, because you will infect the area. Wow. So wait, hold on. Then what they do is, the doctor grabs one of your nuts, and then he stretches that out and pulls it.
Whoa!
And then he begins to palpate.
Puts in his
the tube that connects. That connects. Then he finds it. Then he puts a needle through it and injects, right, to numb the area. Okay. So then what he does is he does an incision on your sac, and then he pulls the wire out, and then he cuts the wire, and then he ties it. And then he puts that back in. Are you
seeing the whole thing?
No.
Oh, I was going to say.
Because you're in agony.
Hold on.
And he's telling you, don't touch. So then he puts that back, and then he grabs the other nut. And at this point, I'm like, can I have a moment? And the whole time you're like, of course. Right? So you're like, and you're like, trying to touch, and he's like, don't touch because you'll infect the area. Like, that's an open scar. Don't touch.
You want to punch him?
You wanted to touch your stuff?
I want it, like, out of impulse and reaction. You want to, like, stop or grab or block, and you're not supposed to.
This whole experience sounds excruciating.
It's the worst.
And you paid for this?
Your sucks.
Insurance did.
Yours sucks.
I would get it again tomorrow, dog, is what I'm telling you.
So when it sounds like Marlon really feels like he had a different experience.
No,
Marlon, what
by
yours?
all means. Like,
You suck my dick.
my doctor at least talked.
He said, "This is how we're gonna get it all out. You'll never."
Right, like, all right. Just on
You're gonna be gay after this.
Don't worry about impregnating women after this.
My doctor told me you're gonna feel a sting and a burn.
Hey, do you have to go in weekly for him to take care of it for you so you can impregnate people?
He made sure I didn't have no more counts.
Okay.
No. As soon as I go in there,
You try.
lay you down, put a little blanket over
Get to the
yourself.
point.
Listen,
Face down, ass up.
face up, ass down.
What was the fucking color of the wall?
No. So he tells me
What was the room temperature?
you're gonna feel a burn and a sting, and so the numbing session is full needle from one ball to the other. Right.
So you got hit in the ball. You didn't get the whole experience Tony talked about.
They didn't grab your nut. They just put the
looking for the cable, the little wire.
How did they put How did they find?
So they went straight
nut?
for the.
They didn't
How
grab
did they
your
find
nut.
the nut?
Yeah, like did they grab the? Because they don't numb your nut. They
I don't
numb
know what your
the
ball
vein.
sack looked like, but
No.
my doctor
How did-
legit knew where my ball sack was because he put a blanket
No,
over.
what Tony says is
only the ball sack was exposed.
Right.
Only.
Sure.
Yes.
He put a needle.
How did he know what to inject?
My point is, Tony's saying that he injected the sperm highway, bro.
Listen,
Not
yeah.
the actual ball.
No,
You're saying that he injected
listen.
your actual ball.
This is the numbing.
Right.
The numbing was a needle to one ball sack to the other.
So he injected the ball?
The nut sack?
He
The nut sack.
He injected the needle to my balls.
To your actual
Your
testicle.
ball?
Testicles.
Why when you're
Because he needed to numb the balls, right? Like,
but it's the highway that gets cut.
no. Here's the process. That's
Maybe
what
the whole
this is the
area gets
beginning.
numb.
This is the
Yeah.
beginning. So he put the needle through my ball sack. Then he sliced the center of my ball sack.
So here,
Listen,
wait.
Listen.
But wait, no,
He-
there's this to it, right?
How did he get to your ball sack?
Wait, how did he get to your ball? Your balls move. So he's got to grab your ball to hold it in place to
All right.
run a needle through the sack into the ball.
Did he
So-
grab your balls or no?
No. So I think I understand what he's
Like,
saying. I think Marlon is trying to say that they numb the ball sack itself so they can cut it.
Correct.
Then they pulled out the fucking.
Then they sliced to open up the line.
Okay.
One slice was set
Paid
to
for
cut the line.
Yes.
Right? Like the
Yeah.
center,
Yeah.
then they pull one line, they cut it, they burn it.
But this whole time, your skin is numb on your sack, not the balls.
Can you show
and-
us real quick? Can we get a demonstration?
We don't have.
Chewy, you're the doctor.
We don't have a telescope.
Yeah.
Chewy, you're the doctor.
Microscope.
Let's not talk about this.
I know,
My
my
balls
balls
hurting right now.
Dude,
That's fine.
it's a horrible experience.
Chewy,
Yes,
can we
if
change
I was,
Yeah, this
if I
is
was
terrible.
you, I would,
The horrible experience for me overall was the numbing.
yeah. Same.
After that,
brutal.
I believe you guys are both saying the same thing.
Yeah,
just
after
different
that-
process.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dude, getting up from that, it's this thing of like, all right, you're good to go, and I'm like, dude, that was fucking rough.
Yes.
I'm literally like, I put on my pants. And I'm like walking out like the oldest person in the world, dude. Like
Yeah.
grabbing onto the
They
wall.
didn't give you a wheelchair now.
Nothing, bro.
No.
Like literally take
I was
the
in the-
elevator down.
I was in
and
the
I'm
fourth
like,
floor.
I'm like, oh my
You
god,
were by
like
yourself.
no. They came in and they picked me up.
Who?
Melissa
Okay.
picked me up. Get in the car. Go home.
She wasn't in the room.
No.
My wife was in my room.
I
She
went
saw
by,
the whole process go down.
went by
To
myself.
make sure it's happening.
100%.
She's like, I don't trust this fucker.
100%.
Salvadorians, I don't blame her.
I had 4 females in my room at one moment as they were setting me up before the doctor was in there with me for probably.
So you're trying to say that there was 4 people that were laughing all at the same time?
So there was 4
No.
females, and the guy touched you.
Yes. Yes.
Marlon's used to that,
He
though.
was the only one having fun.
He was the only one willing to.
Holy shit!
He was the only
that
one with
makes you
tweezers.
gay, bro.
Does it?
You definitely
I
have
paid for it though.
experience.
I paid for it.
That's true. All right, so it's like it.
This is what I wanted,
What's
right?
crazy though, it's like the most upsetting part of this whole like vasectomy thing is, dude, I did my research. I asked like 7 people, like, how was it? How did it go? And people are like, dude, it's nothing. You feel great. Like this whole whole fucking thing. And what I figured out was, I went home and like the experience of you're going down the elevator, you're like, it is rough, right?
Yes,
it's rough. I went home. I fell asleep. I woke up, dude. I was 1,000% better.
Yep.
Like exponentially, you get quick so fast.
Yeah.
That within 2 days is like nothing happened.
Yep.
Did you have to ice your balls though?
So that's like, what they tell you to start off with. Ice.
Like it's not incremental, dude. It's so exponentially
I believe
faster of how you feel.
I believe the worst part of it all.
6 weeks.
I believe the worst part of everything of that procedure
is when it happens.
Is
the numbing.
Leaving.
Yeah.
And going to your car. Like you have to leave that room and go back to your car.
I don't think I ever want to go through that.
And go home. Right? So once you get home, you ice it, you do whatever, you sit, relax, track out yourself as much as possible. But the worst is walking from that procedure down the elevator to your parking spot.
So that being said, no one is telling the doctor this so they can get you as a fucking wheelchair? I'm sure the walking part
for me, I asked 7 people who told me it wasn't going to be a big deal. I wasn't asking for a fucking wheelchair, bro.
Yeah. I am now if I ever do it. I don't think I am.
I'll go with you.
I don't think I want to.
I'll be the wheelchair guy. I'll push you.
My balls hurt right now.
I'll be the watcher.
It's brutal, but I will say, like, there is a free, like, I knew, like, it's only having a kid that lets you realize how much you don't want to have more kids.
Correct.
Right.
So, like, for real.
But me watching you have a kid makes me not want to have a kid.
I think other people having kids makes me not want to have kids.
Dude,
having the kid is making you have this process easier. Yeah. Not watching having a kid.
Yeah.
You knowing you have a kid.
I can live through you.
100%.
Okay.
I'll live vicariously through your children.
I can live through you. I see the pain in your eyes,
dude. It is. I will say, like, minus my kid.
I look happy.
Minus my kid. I am Manny. Like, I am 100% free if I have no kids.
But you do.
But I do.
But you do.
So what I'm saying is, you should get it.
You see this happiness? I'm fine.
Yeah. I mean, like, there's an internal hurt. I don't know what it is.
The concept for me,
I feel like the solution is this, though. Go and build .org. I feel like that's the solution to all of this.
Because Marlon said I'm selfish. So I guess this is my way of not being selfish.
Aren't we all selfish to a degree?
Yeah, we are.
We all should be selfish to a degree.
Everyone is selfish.
Don't get mad at me for calling you out.
Not to reel this back into like some of our suggestions that we got online was like the workout tips, and then we also got somebody who said, "Let's talk about aliens."
I don't believe in aliens.
Oh.
I used to.
Like aliens in what sense?
Like, you don't think somebody's touched down here, or you don't think they exist? Period.
Because the universe is so vast that there's life out there somewhere.
Dude, somebody.
Wait, let him answer.
I think period. I used to believe in aliens 100%. Now you guys are not ready for. I can go really.
No,
deep
so you think we're the only life in the universe?
No, I don't think.
No, that's what I was asking. I'm not saying there's aliens that have made contact with us or there's aliens that have come to our planet. I believe that there's aliens that exist, as in the sense that there's life on other planets somewhere in the universe.
I think no one knows, and I think people pretend they know, and I don't think anybody knows if there is or not. No, we like to imagine that there is. I think, right? Because we don't want to feel like we're alone in this universe, but there's no proof, and so until there's proof, I'm not going to believe it, right? But yeah, I agree with you, like. Because there's so many, but even galaxies and all that, like.
All right, so there's a hypothetical that goes on at my work, and I'll ask it here, and maybe we'll end it with that. If you had definitive proof that one of the two following things existed, which one would you take and why? Ghosts or aliens?
Aliens.
Definitive, like you knew they existed. Why would you choose aliens?
Because, again, I think the universe is so vast that it's stupid to think that we're the only life in the entire universe.
So
and I'm not meaning like aliens, like to the sense like
But you already believe that. You already believe that. Why do you need proof then?
I'm not saying
Why
that I
not
need
go
proof.
with ghosts then?
I didn't say proof. I'm just saying you asked me what I believe. What would I?
No, that's not what I asked you. I asked you if you could have definitive proof that one of the following two things existed, which one would you go with? Aliens or ghosts? It sounds like you already feel like.
Well, one, I feel like aliens exist, but now to have definitive proof would be great.
Proof then?
Then would it be great to actually see it? I don't believe ghosts would ever be possible to exist. I don't believe that. That's my point.
I agree with him about ghosts. I think it's all bullshit.
I feel souls, the whole afterlife bullshit, that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Do you believe in ghosts?
I don't believe in ghosts as in like true entities that exist, like that are like haunting.
After they pass away.
I don't think it's like a haunting thing, but I think that within the world like this, there's layers of reality based on perception and how like you're tuned in, kind of like a radio, like radio stations. And I think people can dial into stuff that bleeds over into other realities that are like kind of coexisting within this, that you're picking up on frequencies of other people.
So then there's no afterlife of other forms coming in?
I don't know.
No, just different within ghosts too.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it's that far. I just think that like I've known enough people and had enough conversations with people who have done like acid like you guys or mushrooms or like other stuff that you like hear about shit, and it's so consistent across so many people that it's very realistic for me to think that there's probably something within this that we're not fully tapped into.
So what I mean by definitive proof of another life would be like, oh, they make contacts with us. They make actual contact with us. So that would be definitive proof. So that's why I mean, like, I believe in the fact that there's life somewhere, whether it's intelligent or not. There's life in some sense of the word somewhere in the fucking universe, because it's vast. So vast to the point where we don't know how vast it is. We just know it to a certain extent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we would want proof for other people to have that.
No, I would want proof for me. But we're talking about being selfish.
Under the influence,
but
it's different.
But to me, it's like definitive
shrooms. You can't rely on other people being. It's like a drunk person talking to a bush, thinking it's a person.
Right, Marlon talking nonsense.
No, it's like he said drugs were a form to where he thought.
That's what Moses did. He took fucking shrooms. He got lit off.
You believe that?
Let me ask Tony a question.
You don't know that.
No, Marlon, fucking Moses probably didn't even exist for there's no fucking way.
And so your argument was
Tony. Who do you think you are?
Me?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like, what are you? Who are you?
I have no idea.
Yeah, when you're like, hey, this is Tony. No, well, think about it.
Genuinely?
Let's run this. I want you to like really tell me. Think about it.
Running it through 100%, and I've told True this is like, I have a hard time. I have the hardest time making sense that this is reality a lot of times.
Right.
This is like the hardest.
What if I told you it's not?
I wouldn't necessarily trust you, but I wouldn't necessarily
you have to
deny it or believe
you have
or
to
anything.
Experience it, right?
Right.
Yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
To a degree. But like as I go through life, like there's a lot of moments where I pause and I have to remind myself that this is real.
Right. Because it's
that what you're living is real for you.
I have to convince myself a lot of times
that this is real.
It like not on any,
or that it's not real.
No, that this is real. I have to convince myself this is real because it doesn't feel real way too often. Mm-hmm. And I have to stop and be like I'm not drinking, I'm not smoking, I'm not doing drugs, I'm not doing anything. I just have to stop and be like, this is real, this is real, this is real.
When do you feel that is not?
At random moments throughout the day. There's not like a consistent, it happens here.
You're heading more towards like the simulation concept.
It just, it's not even a simulation, dude. Like when I sit and I tell you like, I could have used the restroom, go take a piss, I'm washing my hands, I look up and I look at myself and all of a sudden it just hits me. I'm not stressed out. I'm not drinking. I'm not angry. I'm not happy. I'm not anything. I just hit certain moments at random times that just like all of a sudden I have to like stop and be like,
Yeah.
This is real.
I think
this
you
is real.
I
be
think
present.
You look at your chin line and you're like, this is a real man right now. And if you have any fat on that, you're like, not real.
Not real.
Not
this
real.
can't be me.
Nope.
What about you, man?
100% happens.
With the ghost alien thing.
Yeah.
No, I'm honestly, I'm at a point where I'm a little bit older than you guys.
Yeah,
I'm gonna use that card now, right?
A little bit.
But yeah, I used to believe in the whole alien thing, the ghost religion. Like, I went through all this bullshit, right?
2 years difference makes you believe more than us.
Oh, now it's only 2?
He was
3.
calling you like the oldest
right?
in the world.
Right now he's old.
200 years, I think, was the highest.
How old are you?
I'm glad you're still in your 30s to tell us this.
I'm still in my 30s. But I think to your point, it's like, to me, at least the way I'm experiencing it, like, none of this is real, right? And I think what it is like the mind keeps us busy, keeps us thinking, like, you gotta keep.
Do you legit not think any of this is real either?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Absolutely,
that's crazy.
And I think the mind is hijacking us.
Oh, but by not real, what do you mean?
It's not what we think it is.
Understanding what you mean by not real.
It's not. So people like to identify themselves as like, oh, I'm Manny, I'm Tony, I'm a body. Like, this is who I am, right?
Yeah.
And it's not.
Okay, so you're
like you're not the body. Like, when you die, it's like you're just gonna get.
What if your emotions?
That's something I do kind of feel is the whole reincarnation, in the sense of like a continuation of energy,
which is fine.
You just keep fucking living different lives.
Your feelings,
and I'm not even thinking about different lives. What's that?
But I mean, like, your emotions of what you're going through.
That's the mind,
right? So you believe that?
No, but that's not you. The mind is not you.
No. So that's my question. So it's like, so what you're feeling is a question of disbelief. Your emotion of what you're feeling at that moment is more questionable to make it actual.
It's like the whole Shakespearean. It's the whole Shakespearean concept of I think, therefore I am. So to him, it's like your mind is creating your reality.
So if you're upset, if you're mad, right? If something gets you upset and you're
that's
angry,
your mind.
That's a mind,
which is fine. But I'm saying for you,
I agree with that, man.
Because people associate yourself with like the identity that you created since you were a child, right?
Yep.
Like, you're just like, oh yeah, he's Chewy, he's little Chewy. Like, this is who Chewy is. This is his friends, right? This is what his family believes. And society like creates this thing that you're born into, right?
And you said,
and then it creates all these noises. The mind takes over. It keeps you busy. It says, hey, you got to succeed here. You suck at this. You all this stuff, right?
No. So my question is, that emotion.
But let me finish. Yeah. My point is, like, once you understand that all that is fucking noise, right? You silence the fucking mind. Silence it to be like, oh no, I know the mind's there. Remove the mind, and then that's when you see the truth. I think a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah. So who is Manny? Hold on.
And again, I think if I'm gonna answer that directly,
same question the way you asked it to me, like
I'm not the guy. The person that's speaking is all these ideas I have, right? But I think the real Manny is the one that's like understands that this is all fake, and I question what reality really is. And I think at the end of the day, I think we're all the same thing. We're all connected in a weird way, which I don't comprehend.
There's an idea that we're all the same consciousness.
We're all the same
experiencing life in different perspectives.
Exactly.
And I've always argued that when people say, "Oh, there's a soul," I'm like, "There's no soul. It's just your consciousness. Consciousness creates the concept of a soul." Right. I've always argued that for a long time. I've been atheist for a very long time, and you yourself have believed in God, and I've had these conversations with you in the past about
and you've seen my transformation.
Yeah, and that's fine. Like, then that's why, like, I understand where you're coming from now. But that's why I kind of agree with you in the sense that I understand that what I think what Chewy is only what I think that I've created what Chewy is, and that's why I always brought it back to, like, I think therefore I am bullshit. That Shakespeare created a long time ago. It's like, so what you think you are, you create that you are.
Yeah.
But are you?
But here's the thing.
As an actor,
but nonetheless, you're still rolling through this bullshit.
But my thing is, again, but the freedom of it is like, once you understand that, you're like, oh, then none of this matters. Let's just enjoy life, right?
Thank you.
And that's it. But
that's why I emphasize on memories and experiences.
Right, but even then, that's just...
And that's what I'm living through right now. I'm going to die. I die. I might go on to live on another life. I might go on to nothing. But the point is like, as far as my consciousness sees it now, I want to enjoy certain things, and I'm fucking gonna enjoy those things.
Yeah, but even then, that's just memory.
Exactly.
So my main thing is like, ask yourself like, what am I not seeing right now that I need to see, right? Because
in what aspect?
Like the ego gets in the way. Ego is mind, right?
Dude, ego is such a motherfucker for so many people.
But
pride is another
ego
thing.
and pride and all that. That's the mind. That's the mind.
Yeah.
Keeping you busy, saying like, "Oh, you're not good enough," right? You need to, move up into the corporate ladder, like you were talking about. Like, why? You need to buy this. You need to do this. Like, you need to, work out at the gym and all that. It's like it keeps you busy.
Right.
For whatever reason, I don't know. But once you eliminate the mind, realize, oh, the mind's not. Basically, okay. So remember that movie, The Samurai, where
The Last
Samurai. I'm sorry, and the guy kept saying like, no mind, because he was overthinking, like fighting. He's like, remove the mind, and you're gonna be able to fight.
And to bring it to another Tom Cruise movie, the new Top Gun Maverick, he says, "Don't think, just do."
Yes. And I think he's big into like Buddhism,
and he's a Scientologist.
But
to bring it back,
no, but that movie is like, I think about it a lot because he's just like he's at too many minds.
And I've already been a big pusher of Buddhism for a long time. Just their concepts of thoughts.
Yes, I relate to them a lot, and my thing is like I think again, circling back to all these problems and all this and all that, I think. It's because we think we're a human, we think we're a body, we think that this is it, and that's why people want to like live forever. They're just like, oh, I want to like stay healthy and all that, but for what? Right? It's like
so like I will echo a lot of what you're saying. There is a uniqueness about you that I think shows itself in what you think, and I think that there's a lot that people say but don't implement. So I think, like for me, I chameleon my way through a lot of shit on purpose in order to not have to engage in dialogue and explain to people stuff. So like when you ask me why work out, I say vanity. That's a way of me deflecting the answer into something to joke in order to get out of a conversation that I don't want to have.
Right.
In reality, it comes down to, for me, like working out is a lot of like, I want to feel good about myself. There's positive things that come from me working out that I want to have, that I don't want to have to sit there and explain to someone who might not understand. So it's easier for me to deflect the question and say something like vanity, because that gets me a laugh. And
what are you trying to say? I feel you.
Was that an attempt to flex?
So
that wasn't a full flex.
Hold on. So there's that, right? So like, but there is a magic to how I see you live your life, and I don't know if I'm there yet, but it's something that I strive to do. And that, like, when I joke and I say and I laugh and I say things like, the perception of how you see life, it bleeds itself through everything else. Is kind of what you're saying in a different way. Like it's an amateur way of truly explaining what you're saying from like a global scale of life. Like if you have true freedom, you experience true freedom.
And with that being said, this whole conversation would go a lot better once we have Nate on this fucking podcast.
Why?
Manny, you need to come back because that's very interesting conversation. But with all that being said, this was episode 2 for the Immorals. My name is Chewy.
Halfway through my talk.
Yeah, let him finish. Let him finish. No, I do want to hear what you want to say.
Let's pause it real quick.
Yeah.
I just need to go to the restroom, and I want to hear this thought out.
No, he's already in the string of consciousness. Let him finish.
Right, so there's someone outside?
They're about to come in. So that's why.
Okay. So let's call.
That's why.
Pause it, and we can continue.
No.
They just need to walk through.
We can talk about it later. So we'll talk about it afterwards. Off air.
Off air?
Yeah.
Okay.
This was Chewy and Tony.
And then we had our guest Manny and Marlon.
And we've all been here.
Thank you,
with
guys.
your
immoral support.
Damn it.
I'm so sorry.
We were like finally in the
we can still talk about it.
Dude, yeah, but for real, like the magic of it for me, or the thought process is like, you see it from such a global scale, and I see it in